Hey, come on in. It's Porch, Settin Sunday. It's another day and another chance to sparkle. So keep a sparkle in your eye and a sparkle in your heart because it makes you beautiful. Show you the mountains. Now let me tell you, they are budding out. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're budding out. The sky is beautiful today. You can't see how dark it is, but I like it when it's like that. It's just soothing. But anyway, the mountains are budding. Our weeping willows are budding out already. They're gorgeous. It's getting warm here. I think the flowers is getting confused though. Also, the rose bushes are budding, the tops of them. So I'm afraid that they're going to get fooled and then they're going to get hurt. So wanted to come in today and say hey to everybody. Hope you've had a wonderful week and a wonderful Sunday. And I hope you've been well. I've had some sickness here in my family and I've been dealing with my depression. But I'll get through it as soon as the weather warms up. Because when it's dark and dreary and rainy, I tend to get a little depressed. And I start thinking about things that I shouldn't be thinking about and get myself in a tizzy. So I've got a lot of things I want to talk about, a lot of things that I've got to show you all that I want to tell you about. One of them is the e-salon. Has anybody ever tried the e-salon? I ordered it. It was, your first one is $10, so I got that and I'm going to try it. I'll show it before I try it, but I just wanted to throw that out there. A few things that I wanted to tell you all about, so that's in the works, and you know I want to do some cooking. That's in the works. So anyway, let me tell you a story. Let me put you down right here. I don't want you to look at my nose, but I want to put you down. And my hair is thinning, y'all. I don't know why, but well, I'm off of my pills and I've been under a lot of stress, so that's why my hair is thinning. I've been out of my biotin and I haven't been taking it, and I'm supposed to be taking what do you call it, prenatal vitamin. I haven't been taking that because my insurance quit paying for it and I can't afford it. But anyway, I wanted to come in and tell a story about when my middle daughter was born. And the reason I'm telling you about her story and not the others is because hers was very eventful. When I was pregnant with her, I had my son and I had my oldest daughter. And I had already miscarried twins before my middle daughter was born. So she was a hard pregnancy. And I think the reason that she was such a hard pregnancy is because, and I'm telling this story on the tail end of, oh, I forgot to tell you that I had my other great-grandson was born. His name is Marshall Emerson. He was born on February the 11th in the evening, about 8:30 in the evening, that evening. Now, how much he weighs, I don't even remember. They called me late that night, and just my oldest grandson called me that night. I'm getting off on a tangent, or off now, but not on a tangent, but off, well, it's not off subject, it's a birth. And my oldest grandson called me, and he FaceTimed me, and he'd never done that before, and I still never thought anything about it. And all of a sudden, he said, Mama, are you awake? Are you there? I said, yes, I'm here. I'm awake. I'm just laying in bed watching TV. And he panned over, and there laid the most gorgeous little tiny baby on his mama's chest. And I just screamed, oh, Rainy, look. I was telling my husband to look. And so Marshall Emerson was born February 11th at 2020 at 8:30. So we're just over the moon, happy with him. If you follow me on Facebook, you've probably already seen lots of pictures. Anyway, when my middle daughter, Miss Shayla, was born, she was born almost 6 weeks early. But I had a hard pregnancy with her. So that morning when I got up, I felt fine. I got all my housework done and everything, and sent my son to school. He was in kindergarten at the time, and my oldest daughter, she was about 2, 3 years old, I'm thinking. And she had laid down to take a nap, and I was watching a soap opera. How it was in the afternoon, and when I woke up, I felt like I really had to go to the bathroom. I really had to pee bad. So when I stood up, I heard smack. When I heard that pop, I just looked down and there was blood everywhere, everywhere. I mean, it was so bad that it just went through my pants and everything. So I thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I woke my little girl up. I had no phone. Didn't have cell phones back then, you all know. Had no phone at the house. And so I ran next door, which was my landlord. I ran next door, went to the back door, knocked and knocked and knocked, opened the door and yelled in. Well, I seen the phone hanging on the wall, but I wouldn't go in because nobody was there. So I knew this one, I didn't know anybody in the community, but I knew this one family that was down the road. Their sons would come and play with my son. And so I walked down there. I got my daughter up and I said, Mommy's got to go right now. You know, the baby's going to come. And so I went down there, I changed my clothes. I used back then cloth diapers. So I was bleeding so heavy that I put 2 cloth diapers. By the time I got to the house that I had walked to, which was not that far, I was soaked through those 2 diapers, my pants and all. And Eunice, which was the lady that I knew, her name was Eunice Bragg, and her sons, Randall and Ricky, would come to our house. So anyway, but the thing that I wanted to tell you is that morning my husband was going fishing, and I begged him to let my son miss school and let me go to his sister's while he was gone fishing. I don't know why, but I just knew something was going to happen that morning. Let me fix you all. You're looking up my nose. I just knew something bad was going to happen that morning. I don't know why, but I even grabbed his hand and begged him. I said, please, please, take me with you. Let me go to your sister's. And he just would not do it. So Eunice told me, when I got to her house, she said, where's Ranny? And I said, I don't know, somewhere on the river between this community and that community. She said, I'll take the boys and go find him. You call your mother and father-in-law and tell them to come and take you to the hospital. So, my father-in-law is slow. I mean slow. My husband beat him to the hospital. And we was on our way to the hospital before they even found my husband, but he beat us to the hospital. And so it was an emergency when I had her. She was called a previa placenta birth. What do you do about this? Turkey neck? Nothing. Anyway, so she was a previa placenta birth. And I really was scared to death. I'd never been through anything like that. But she's okay now. She is meaner than a snake. She's 40 years old. So that was 40 years ago. So that's the story I wanted to tell in honor of my grandson's birth and to tell you about his birth. We wasn't at the hospital. That's the way that his mom wanted it. I told her that was the best thing, to have just her and my grandson and their little 2-year-old, and be the little family. She had her sister there to take care of the 2-year-old, but I thought that was the best because they missed out a lot of things because there were so many people at the hospital. Now, me and my husband waited till late to go. We didn't run as soon as we heard she was in labor with her first one, and this one she didn't tell anybody she was going to the hospital to have the baby until after the baby was born. So I thought that was the best thing for her and, you know, for my grandson and his significant other and her, you know, her. I thought it was the best thing for them. So anyway, hope y'all have a wonderful week. Don't forget, at the end of every storm is a beautiful rainbow. You're my rainbow. I got a prayer request this week. I want you all to remember And when you say a prayer, remember someone that God knows all about. Remember them in your prayers. Remember their family. She, the day before yesterday, it's a lady that I worked with at the nursing home. She was the coordinator of the activities coordinator. She'd been there for years, and she was such a wonderful person. I was there a short time. Well, I was there a little over a year, and I just loved her. Me and her hit it right off, and I just loved her. She didn't work in the kitchen, but she was the coordinator, and I always told her if she ever needed anybody that I would love to leave the kitchen and come work with her, because I just loved working with the elderly people and singing with them and doing activities. So she was the activities director. And she, day before yesterday, was coming down her steps and fell and broke her neck. And she passed away that night at 8:30. So you all keep her family in your prayers. Her name is Betty. So keep her family and her friends in your prayers. And most of all, keep me in your prayers. I love you guys, and I hope that you'll follow me on all my social media. And I'm getting help with writing my book, so it's going to be a little better, hopefully. We haven't coordinated quite yet, but she knows who she is that's going to help me. So if you could get in touch with me, that'd be great. I love you guys, and I hope you'll come back and see me. I'm hoping to get my act together and start filming more. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and when you do, come back and see me. I love you guys. Bye.